All right, so let's talk about percents and parts of exponential equations. Okay, so a little bit of review of percents here. So you are at a restaurant and your bill comes to $15.95. You want to leave a waiter a 20% tip, which by the way is standard. How much is the tip and how much is your bill total? So what we want to do is first think about 20% as like a regular number. And what I mean by that is percents we can't really use in calculations. Percents are just something for us to tell us what it is out of 100. So we need to change percents into its decimal form in order to actually use it in equations. So 20%, and then we divide that by 100 to get our decimal of 0.2. So 0.2 or 0.20, whatever you want it to be, is the same thing as 20%, okay? All right, so now that we have that, what we do to find the percent of something is we multiply by that percent. So I'm gonna take my $15.95, I'm gonna multiply it to my 0.2, or my 0.20, same thing. And I get 319. And so what that 319 represents is that's the 20% of $15.95. So that is just like the tip that I'm paying. So this is my tip that I'm gonna leave for the person. But then it also asks how much is my total bill then. So I need to take my $15.95. I need to add my tip of $319. And then so that gives me my total bill of $19.14. Okay, so this is my total bill. Okay, so the reason that I'm taking the time to go over with percents is one, how to change it to a decimal, and two, that we are finding the percent of something and then we either add it or subtract it to a value. So what I did is I increased $15.95 by 20%. Okay, so this next one, you find a fabulous pair of pants that cost $46 and they are on sale for 25% off. So we want to know how much are you going to actually pay for the pants. So what I need to do is I need to take my cost, my original cost, I need to multiply it by 25%, which is 0.25. And that gives me $11.50. So that's how much I get to take off of my original price. So what I'm going to do is take my 46 and I'm going to subtract that 25%, which is $11.50, and that gives me $34.50. So that is how much you're actually going to pay for the pants. Okay. So shortcuts to percents here. What I mean by that is when something is increasing, what happens is we keep 100% of it. So let's see here, let's write this down. So when something's increasing, oops, that looks weird. So, okay, so let me, before I get too far. So the first example was an example of increasing, right? We multiplied it by the percent and then we added it. And that works. That always works. However, sometimes we want like just less things to put in an equation, right? So that's what we're gonna work toward is what we can put in an equation a little bit easier. So when increasing, we keep our 100% of what we had, right? Of what we had. And then we add some percent, so another percent. Oops, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so what that looks like is we have 100%, and then like for our example that we did, we added 20% of our total. So really what I've done is I have, at the end, I have 120% of what I originally had. And 120% is the same thing as, I'm gonna scoot this over here a little bit, same thing as 1.2. So that's as its like decimal equivalent, right? So if I was to go back to this equation up here, what I could have done, and I want you to try this in your calculators, you could do 1595 and you could multiply it by 1.2 and it gives you automatically this 19.14, which was our cost, right? And I would write that down, but I'm running out of room. So, and then, all right, so when we're decreasing, we start with 100%, but then we're losing a percent, right? So we lost, in our example, 25%. So what that leaves us with is really we've left with 75%. So we had the first original 100% of what we were gonna pay, then they're like, oh, we get to lose 25% of that. So what we keep is 75% of it. So this is what we keep. And that is what we would want in equation. So this one I am gonna write out. If we were to turn that into the decimal, that's 0.75. And just to show you guys, our $46 that we were gonna pay for those pants, but then we're only really keeping 75% of that cost, and that gives us the cost that we had of $34.50. So it just is it's just a little bit of a shortcut. Instead of having to multiply and then add, we can just either add or subtract from 100 and change it to a percent and then multiply. All right, so let's practice this with just some real basic numbers here. So if I want to increase 34 by 4%, and I want to use my little kind of cheat sheet thing here. So I'm going to take my 34 and I'm going to multiply it by 1, which is like my 100%, plus the 4%, which is 0.04. So let me kind of show the math below for this. So this is equivalent of taking our 100% plus the 4%, and that's the same thing as 1 plus 0.04, because we would divide each of those by 100, and that's the like decimal equivalent. And so I get 35.36. Okay, so let's do it for this one. So I've got 178, and then I'm going to multiply it by, so when I'm losing 32%, so to create my number in there, before I even write it, I'm going to do 100%, which is the same thing as 1, and I'm subtracting 32%, which is the same thing as 0.32, and I get 68%, or 0.68. So 0.68 is what I want in there, and so 178 times 0.68 gives me 121.04. Okay. If you want some practice with that, I have some worksheets and some extra practice that, or some online practice you can do if you want to just kind of get that down before you go to the story problems, okay? So just let me know. All right, so example B. The price of a stock started this year with a value of $74.25 and has dropped in value by 6% thus far. So, it really doesn't ask a question. I think it wants to know, that's my bad, what's the cost of the stock at the end of the year. So, $74.25. And so if it is lost 6%, I'm going to do that 1 minus the 0.06, because that's what 6% is, as a decimal. So what this is going to kind of turn into here is I get 74.25 times 0.95, because that's, 1.94, my bad. Because that's what 1 minus 0.06 is. And I get that the stock ends at 69,795. And I know that's not quite in money, but, I mean, it is in money, but I did round, so I don't know. So you could say like 69.8. Okay. All right, next page. Okay, so we know with exponential growth, we just talked about the graphs last time. We have our equations, y equal a b to the x. And it's really important to note that this will always, the b value is always going to be greater than 1, right, to make it go up. So we'll have some exponential growth going. Okay, so we're going to kind of pick these apart, exponential equations. They're a little bit more advanced, and kind of just get into the different vocabulary of it. So we know that a, that's always our starting value. It's our y-intercept, right? But we're going to call it our starting value. Just as a reminder when we get to story problems, what it connects to. Our R over here is what we call the rate, and that is our percent, right? That we were increasing or decreasing something by. In this case, we're dealing with growth, so it's the rate that it increased by. So it increased 25% or 60%, whatever the percent that it increased. But remember, this always needs to be written as a decimal though, okay? Not as a percent. Okay, T is our time. And then the 1 plus R together, what that is we call that our growth factor. Because that's what really is actually being multiplied by, because that's what the meaning of the word factor is it's something being multiplied to something else. So once we add the rate to 1, that number becomes our growth factor. All right, so very similar, exponential decay. Let's do it purple, so we still have the setup of y equals a to the bx, but this time b has to make things shrink, and it has to make sure to make something shrink when multiplying has to be between 0 and 1, but not including it, right? Because something 0 to the certain exponent is just going to be 0, so that's not going to change anything. And then once it hits 1, it starts to be growth, right? So we have to stay in between there. And that means it's also like not negatives. Negatives do something else, okay? So it has to be that decimal between 0 and 1. And just to review, that's what our exponential decay kind of looks like. All right, so just basically the same as it is up there. A is still our starting value. The result of 1 minus our rate, this is what we call our decay factor. R is still our rate, again, as a decimal, and T is time. Okay, but you're like, well, wait, why is this any different than the one above? Notice that it has 1 minus R versus plus, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of practice picking the equations apart and looking at what's the rate, what's the factor, what's the starting value, and stuff like that. Okay, so let's look here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and just to kind of write them out here, we have our growth. And our decay over here. Okay, so looking at these, looking at A, you've got y equals 3 times 1.8 to the x. So it wants you to find the initial value, the growth or decay factor, and then the growth or decay rate. And you may be looking at that and you're like, that doesn't look like the equations you just wrote up top. Well, yeah, not quite. They've already added or subtracted from 1, okay? So we have to just work backwards a little bit to find the rate, and you'll be able to handle it. So the first thing we want, just identify as growth or decay. So we look at this number right here, And I'm like, all right, is that bigger than 1? Yeah, that totally is, right? So that's growth. Then our initial value is 3. It's always that A value in front. And I say initial value, that's the same thing as starting value. Those words are all synonyms, right? Okay, so then what's the factor? So the factor is what is given to us. And that's given to us of 1.8. That just is like, it's in the equation, we have that. The rate is where it gets just a little bit, actually, hold on, I'm gonna choose a different color for that. I wanna make it, oops, I wanna make it blue. Okay, so then the rate is the difference between that number and 1. So what we're gonna do is we take our 1.8, and I subtract 1, and I'm left with 0.8. And so you can imagine, like, if I was to go back up here, we do 1 plus 0.8. Oh yeah, that gives me 1.8. So I know that I've done it right. 0.8 is my rate. Okay. All right, so let's do B. So think for a sec, is that growth or decay? So you should notice that that number right there that has the exponent is less than 1, so it's decay. So what do you think the initial value is? Did I give you one? So I didn't, right? So since I didn't give you one, there is one. It's just invisible because math just likes to have invisible numbers. So our invisible number is 1. That's our starting value, our initial value. Okay. What's our factor? 0.3, right? So what's in the equation? So then the rate's where it's a little bit tricky. So I need to figure out, well, I need to do 1 minus 0.3. That gives me 0.7. So my decay rate is 0.7 or 70%. Those are the same thing. And I can just kind of check myself if I go up here and I kind of imagine 1 minus 0.7. Well, that gives me my 0.3 that was in the equation. That's my factor, right? Okay, last one. Growth or decay, what do you think? Growth. What's my initial value? 5. What's my factor? It's 2. Okay, so this one's a little bit funky. I'm like, whoa, I know it's growth, it's going up, right? So what's my rate? How do I go from 1 up to 2? Well, I always take my factor and I can minus 1 from it. So really my growth rate is, my growth rate is 1, meaning 100%. It doubled, right? That's why that 2 is there. So we had our 100%, I added another 100% to it. So that gave me 200%, which is the same thing as just 2. All right, so go ahead and do the practice on that. I hope that made sense. This one can get a little confusing, so please, please, please ask me questions. Just send me an email with a photo of your work, and I'm happy to answer questions for you.